A very good day to you. Hope you're having yourself an amazing day. It's yet another beautiful Saturday afternoon. It's 1:58 p.m., 13:58 East African time. Today I've started really late due to some unavoidable circumstances. But we are here and we're going to be talking about a very interesting conversation. Today we are going to be talking about blood minerals and how most insecurity cases in Africa are as a result of the mineral endowment in those countries. So I'm going to start by giving you examples of some of the countries in Africa that are going through conflict as we speak, which is basically almost every African country. And I'm going to be reading you the minerals they have, and you'll see, you're going to see the connections in it, because I'm also going to read you a list of countries in Africa that do not have that much mineral endowment. They do have, but not as much as in comparison to the likes of Sudan and South Sudan. And one thing that you're going to see in those countries is that there's peace. So we're going to be looking at how having minerals is but a curse. We're going to be looking at the mineral curse in Africa and how real it is. And we're going to be looking at examples in DRC. We're going to be looking at examples in Central African Republic. And we're going to be looking at what really peacekeepers who claim to come to keep peace do, and we're going to look at, for example, in Congo, where a UN peacekeepers truck was intercepted carrying a whole truck carrying minerals, of which they later said it was not minerals, but it was sand. So welcome to the show. You can talk to me on the comments. That is, I'm on Facebook and on YouTube and also on the website. So you can talk to me on the comments. I would like to hear your insight on this. So welcome to the show. Let us start by looking at some of the minerals that we have, some of the countries that are going through war right now in Africa. And the number one, of course, will be DRC. When we talk about DRC, what is happening in DRC is not even war. It is a whole humanitarian crisis with more than 100 armed rebel groups fighting against each other, with people getting killed every day in camps. And DRC's conflict goes back a long way back. It even goes back to the Rwandan genocide. It goes back to there, And DRC is perhaps the world's richest country. It's supposed to be the world's richest country, considering DRC powers the world. I say powers the world, I mean powers the world literally. There is cobalt in DRC, there is coltan, there are diamonds, there is gold, there is copper, and there is tin, and many other minerals. And the first mineral that I mentioned, cobalt, is especially a mineral of interest in that it is the mineral that powers the world. When I say powers the world, I mean powers the world in terms of every vehicle that you see, every phone that you use, every electronic that you come across has some aspect of cobalt in it that is in the batteries. Most batteries that we use in the world are cobalt batteries. So DRC literally runs the world, including the military personnel who are sent to, the peacekeepers who are sent to DRC by everybody. Everybody is so concerned about DRC's peace. We see Kenya had sent its troops there. South Africa has sent its 2,900 troops there. UN peacekeepers are there. We have US peacekeepers there. We have French peacekeepers there. So it is a country of interest because it's the richest country in the world, and it's a country that when I say they, I'm going to explain what they mean. Do not ever joke with. It was, in fact, among the first countries in Africa where we saw an assassination back in 1961. Even before we knew we were independent, they had already assassinated Patrice Lumumba. So it's a country that they never really joke with. It's a country that has to be kept in not just in ignorance, but in chaos and in shambles. And in it being kept in shambles, then the resource-rich country can be exploited as much as they want, because the citizens will be more worried about not dying than really where their cobalt went. So there has been conflict in DRC for the last 30 years. Conflict has been there for more than 30 years, especially in the capital, Goma, where there are about 2 million people, and all the other cities. This is the main rebel group there is M23. The March 23 movement is allegedly backed by Rwanda, which really makes me doubt on how powerful Rwanda really can be, because Rwanda is also supposedly backing the armed groups that are fighting in Burundi. So it looks like Rwanda is a very rich country that has been allegedly financing chaos in that part of Africa. So let me just give you a little timeline of the Rwandan conflict, of the DRC Democratic, of the Congolese conflict from the top of my head. In 1994, there was the Rwandan genocide, where there was during the Rwandan genocide, there was, I would say, spillover of ethnic wars in the war was in Rwanda, but millions of people fled into DRC, including armed fighters. So that is where the real the Rwandan genocide, if you've never heard of it, is perhaps the world's most lethal genocides to ever happen. Millions of people died in this genocide. And so people fled to DRC, and that was where DRC's problem, not really where DRC's problems began, because DRC's problems began the moment it was endowed with minerals, but it was when this specific conflict that I'm talking about, that has been happening over the last 20, 30 years, began. So in 1996, Uganda, Rwanda, and Angola invaded the DRC, allegedly to target the Hutu fighters from Rwanda, Namibia, Zimbabwe, and Sudan, who had fled into DRC. So in 1994, there was the Rwandan genocide. DRC was just chilling. Then millions of people flee into the DRC, including armed fighters. In 1996, Uganda, Rwanda, and Angola invade the DRC to target the Hutu fighters from Rwanda who had fled there. So that was where the current conflict began. The other long conflict that has been there for years began as soon as DRC was endowed with minerals. In 1999, the UN deployed the MONUSCO forces, and they have been fighting in DRC. I want you to mark this. MONUSCO entered DRC in 1999. They left DRC. They are still living DRC as we speak. The first phase, the first phase out of the MONUSCO was early this year. So that means they have been in DRC for the last 35 years, and they have not managed to stop the war, because that should tell you that the main objective was not to stop the war, because was the objective to stop the war, then 30 years in, 35 years in, we should have seen something change, in as much as we might say we should have seen a change somewhere 35 years in. But instead, the M23 rebels are advancing further. They took over Goma. It's actually tougher right now than it was in 1999, when UN deployed MONUSCO peacekeepers. And I'm going to tell you about the MONUSCO peacekeepers and why they are leaving, including a UN peacekeepers truck being intercepted carrying minerals. So they claim to be keeping peace, but they intercepted a UN peacekeeping truck loaded with stolen gold. Let me share a video of that so that you can see. And a big shout out to Jiba Jaba, who's just joined me. So let me start by sharing a video of that, so that I want you to get the context on why most of the wars we have in Africa are sponsored chaos. And let me start by sharing a copyright disclaimer, so they don't take down the YouTube channel like they have so many others. So this is what your peacekeepers are doing, and this is how they are keeping peace in African countries.
Yeah, viewers and subscribers, let me do this quick one. I'm just recovering from some kind of stressed out email. But I just need to bring this to your notice. You've heard me sometimes say Africans, they uprising, terrorist activities happening in Africa, across Africa, is a ploy by the world powers, by the West, to invade Africa in the guise of peacekeeping or volunteer this or that to exploit African resources. Okay, this video will clear your doubt as I got it from one of our sources.
Mark, as you watch this video, UN released a statement, so did so many other media, Western medias and African medias, and in the statement they claimed that what you're seeing in the video is sand. That is what the UN said, that is what the media said. So what this guy here, if you can see my cursor, is holding is allegedly sand. So they said this UN peacekeeping truck was transporting sand meant for military use. So let us watch the whole video, then I'm coming back in a bit so that you can get the context of what I'm talking about when I say it is a curse to be minerally endowed in Africa.
Oh merde! Merde! Merde, c'est trop lourd plus que moi. Donc voilà, c'est tout ce qui est là, mais c'est Sopna, mais c'est Pablo, c'est nous. Nous, les produits sont là ici. Je suis avec tout le monde qui sont là, toute l'équipe qui sont là ici, ils sont venus. Donc il y a sécurité. Les restes maintenant, je vais les écouter et je vais vous expliquer les restes, qu'est-ce qu'ils vont dire. Il faut montrer aussi toute l'équipe. Hein. Oui.
C'est Maître Joseph.
Le maître, il est là.
Le PCA comme Maxarel.
Merci. Ok. Okay, close.
Good. That is just it. That is just it. It explains everything. In Congo, you see them. In different countries of Africa, you see them as peacekeepers. But what they do behind, you see, those green bags full of gold. You see that? These are your so-called peacekeepers. These are the people that stir up conflicts in Africa and through the back door exploit our resources. They supply ammunition, arm criminals, arm oppositions or terrorists themselves to cause uprising, then come through the back door to exploit African resources. They couldn't have done this without the approval or the collaboration of the so-called African leaders. That is the truth. And that is why we need to start identifying pro-African leaders, leaders that will put Africans first, leaders that will put their people first before their own personal greed. Because it's all about greed, amassing primitive wealth they don't need. That's what is pushing some of these African leaders to submit themselves as puppets of the West. These are men of questionable characters, men that have some indictment hanging over their neck, some criminal records hanging over their neck. These are the people that are anointed to lead Africa in different countries. Until Africans realize this and say no to these people, they are more or less money bags, people who have amassed so much wealth that you cannot pin it down to enterprise. No, they only amass this wealth through government patronage and all the corrupt activities. And tomorrow they give you peanuts during election, you support them, they emerge as your leaders, and you continue suffering it. I think it's about time African people say enough is enough. That's why I need you to share this video. Keep sharing and spreading this message. I'm not feeling so well.
Tantalum, tungsten, and gold. All of these minerals are found in our electronics and in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, which contains an estimated $24 trillion in untapped mineral resources. Yet the DRC remains one of the poorest and most dangerous countries in the world, and mining these four metals can help fund armed conflict in the region.
The mining potential of this country is just beyond imaginable, and yet you have poverty at the highest level.
With the passage of the Dodd-Frank Act in 2010, U.S. companies are required to disclose their use of conflict minerals. This has led to greater awareness and some important reforms. But today, consumers still can't be sure if the minerals in their electronics are fully conflict-free, or if the mines where they originate are dangerous, environmentally destructive, or use child labor.
You can't actually ascertain whether my phone, the capacitor that is powering it, is not from conflict mineral. The whole process is muddled.
That's largely because in the DRC and surrounding countries, hundreds of thousands work in the informal mining sector, toiling away using hand tools in what's known as artisanal and small-scale mines. This type of mining can be hazardous and very difficult to regulate, but it's also one of the few sources of income available to some of the world's poorest men and women.
And on the flip side, you have the international market that has these perfect standards, and consumers as well, and increasingly, they want perfect environmental conditions, gender equality and anti-corruption and this and that. They want the perfect package, but that's not the situation on the ground. That's not even the situation in our own communities.
The largest companies in the world, including Apple, Microsoft, Intel, and Tesla, put out extensive conflict mineral reports every year, usually stating that there is no reason to believe that the minerals that they source help to support armed groups. But corruption and instability at mine sites means that there are never any guarantees. Apple, Intel, and Tesla did not reply to requests for comment, while a Microsoft spokesperson stated, Microsoft remains committed to responsible and ethical sourcing and takes this issue very seriously. The four conflict minerals, tin, tantalum, tungsten, and gold, are used widely in consumer electronics. In a smartphone, for example, tin is used to solder metal components together, while tantalum, which is extracted from the metallic ore coltan, is used in capacitors, which store electrical energy. Tungsten is used in the components that make a phone vibrate, and gold is used in circuit board connectors. Only 2% of the world's tin, tungsten, and gold comes from the DRC and surrounding countries, so mining these minerals doesn't usually help to fund armed conflicts. But 67% of the world's tantalum comes from the DRC and Rwanda, and the eastern DRC, where a large percent of these minerals are found, is mired in violence stemming from tensions between the Hutu and Tutsi ethnic groups. After the Second Congo War ended in 2003, a transitional government was unable to contain armed groups who perpetrated violence against civilians, thus giving rise to self-defense militias. Today, rampant poverty, corruption, and institutional chaos continues to drive many Congolese to join one of the over 120 armed groups operating in the eastern DRC.
Before the artisanal miners can access the coltan mine in some places, they have to pay taxes to the armed group because the government is not fair to provide security to them.
Beyond taxation, these groups will fully take over some mines, either extracting the ore themselves or using forced labor, purchasing arms with the proceeds. And beyond the potential for funding conflict, conditions in artisanal mines can be quite dangerous.
I think in the past 4 or 5 years, every year we've had people who've been buried underground. I think the latest was like over 30 people in Kamituga. It is a very dangerous job, both from a security side, from a financial stability side, from a health and safety side.
Such conditions also apply to other minerals found in the DRC, like cobalt, which is surging in demand due to its importance in EV batteries. The majority of the world's cobalt is mined in the relatively safer southern DRC and is not benefiting armed groups. Yet concerns over working conditions and the use of child labor in artisanal cobalt mines remain.
With cobalt and the DRC, if you are a large-scale buyer for the battery supply chain, it is challenging to not buy DRC material because the DRC represents about 3/4 of annual supply globally.
For the last decade or so, African countries, intergovernmental organizations, and companies alike have ramped up efforts to better trace and clean up mineral supply chains.
African states started to work very closely with the OECD around 2010 to make sure that the expectations, the standards, the certification mechanism that was being developed in region would align with and complement the initiatives that were coming out of the international community in terms of expectations of the private sector.
If you're a big company, you're a name brand, you're consumer facing, you can easily spend $1 million on this. And the big brands that we all know, they would spend a lot more.
This has given rise to a web of organizations working to trace and verify supply chains. For example, Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, Intel, Samsung, and hundreds of others are members of the Responsible Minerals Initiative, which maintains a list of smelters and refiners that have undergone an independent audit to ensure that they're sourcing responsibly. In its most recent conflict minerals report, Apple says that it has removed 163 smelters and refiners from its supply chain since 2009, including 12 in 2021. Then there are the organizations actually doing on-the-ground tracing and due diligence at mine sites. ITSCI is the main player in the DRC and surrounding region, working in over 2,000 mines.
A company located downstream in the supply chain, of course, and even a smelter, let's say upstream, located abroad, will not have the capacity to visit all of these mines, to assess the conditions at the sites, to verify information and to collect risks. And this is exactly what the role of ITSCI is.
ITSCI trains government agents to tag and seal bags that come from registered mines, but no system is foolproof.
Yes, apologies for the long video that Jiba Jaba is saying he dislikes the white girls, whiny computer voice. It's all on those documentaries. So I'm gonna share this long video again. We're gonna watch the whole of it because there is some construction, there is some maintenance work happening in the studio. Of course, a lot of noise and hammering. So I don't want you hearing that noise. That's why I had muted the mic and we were watching the video. So let's finish with the video as the maintenance, before the maintenance is done.
And if agents are corrupt, they might accept minerals from outside unregistered mines and tag them anyway.
Agents were actually selling the tags to other mines. And even when the system was working, those minerals were melted with the minerals from other mines from which we don't know where it was coming from.
Ultimately, it's just really hard to stop bad actors in the system. But experts say the answer is not boycotting minerals from the DRC or from artisanal and small-scale mines overall.
Recognizing the importance of artisanal mining and decriminalizing and legitimating that work. I mean, if we recognize, for example, that artisanal mining is the most important rural, non-farming activity employing tens of millions throughout Africa, generally 30 to 40% of which are women, making sure that we're decriminalizing that and recognizing as legitimate is the first step to supporting them.
Disengagement, Lebert says, would just lead to greater poverty and thus more instability in the region overall, making it even harder for mines to meet international standards, something many companies also recognize. In Tesla's most recent conflict minerals report, they state, as recommended by the OECD, we do not support an embargo, implicit or explicit, of any DRC material, but instead allow sourcing from the region when it can be done in a responsible manner through audited value chains. Overall, though, Lebert says that individual companies need to be doing more to monitor risks on an ongoing basis and independently verify what third-party auditors and tracing schemes are telling them.
The trend has been an over-reliance on industry scheme because, companies, for the most part, want it to be as easy and as simple as possible. They want to outsource the due diligence to somebody else and not worry about it, and for it not to be a headache, but at the same time to protect themselves reputationally.
Though there's much work to be done, many do agree that international standards and corporate efforts have led to gradually improving conditions. But moving forward, getting all countries on the same page when it comes to the ethical sourcing of conflict minerals and cobalt is key.
What's also very important is how much the Chinese companies are going to play by the same rules than Western companies. Because so far, 9 of the 14 biggest companies in the Katanga, where the cobalt is, are Chinese or owned by Chinese. So it really has to be like a worldwide scheme where everyone agrees with the rules.
Unlike the US and the EU, China does not have enforceable due diligence guidelines. And while compulsory standards would certainly add pressure for mines to clean up their act and help cut off the market for unethically sourced minerals, lasting change will likely only come when the DRC itself stabilizes.
The first thing that needs to take place is that the government must create a stable environment. Whether it's going to be by political negotiation or outright military operation, they need to really ensure that the activities of the armed group is brought to the barest minimum.
But that won't happen overnight.
Ultimately, the conditions that we see on the ground or the human rights issues that are of concern to us all are very much linked to governance, poverty, and we need to get at these more systemic issues if you want to see lasting changes in supply chains, not just de-risking in the short or medium term for a company's benefit.
is one of the poorest countries on Earth, but it holds the world's richest deposits of cobalt. Now the race is on to mine the metal essential to making electric car batteries.
This is what people in this region are digging and dying for.
It's dangerous work. The massive industrial mines, mostly Chinese-owned, are a law unto themselves.
People are dying for lack of safety.
Corruption and violence are rampant. Small-scale or artisanal miners who work on the fringes of the big mines risk arrest, even death. Many are children. This report exposes the brutal cost of our green energy revolution.
Are we under arrest?
It's a story many don't want told.
Put your camera down, camera down, camera down.
70% of the world's cobalt comes from the Congo.
Once again, I apologize for the long videos. It's because there's some work going on in the studio and a lot of noise. So that's why I'm playing the videos and muting my mic so that you don't get that on your end. So the first video that we were watching was on how the responsibility part, as Jiba Jaba is saying, how they are trying to, you know, the big corporations, the trillion-dollar corporations are trying to transfer responsibility, while in real sense they are the ones who are responsible for the suffering and for the children who are mining and who are dying of cancer every day. I'm going to be showing you, but of course they are going to transfer that responsibility to other people. They are pretending that it's not their responsibility to actually know what is happening in DRC. And DRC is just but one of the many countries that I mentioned. There are about 15 to 20 African countries that I can mention top of my head that are having a similar issue as the one that we're having in Congo. I can mention the blood diamonds in Central African Republic, for example, and where they're using child soldiers to fight their wars, to cause the disruption, the chaos, so that in the middle of the chaos, they can be able to obtain the minerals that they want. So the first video was on majorly it was focusing on the big multi-trillion corporation, multi-billion corporations that are just negligent, for lack of a better term. And Jiba Jaba is saying, so Apple is a $1 trillion corporation, but they can't fly their fleet of private jets to Congo and inspect their supply chain. Total, of course they know, yeah, it's total bullshit, as Jiba Jaba is saying. Of course, they treat it as it is a business for them, and they know having those child laborers and of course those other laborers in Congo is going to reduce the production cost, and that is why Keith was telling us that an iPhone is produced for an unbelievable amount and it is sold for another unbelievable amount. So they know what is happening. Of course, for them, it's an advantage for them because it's going to cost the production cost. They are now going to get the minerals cheaper because they can be able to exploit them in the first place. I don't even know why I use the word cheaper, because they're going to get the minerals almost for free, exploit the people into doing that for them, and in the end of the day, sponsor wars against the same people who help them obtain the minerals. So that is just one example in DRC where there's a whole humanitarian crisis going on, and there are several ways they approach this. This is now the straightforward way of coming to your place, claiming that your leader is corrupt and we need to restore democracy in your country, and beating the hell out of you. We've seen that in Libya, we've seen that in Sudan, we've seen that in DRC, we saw that with Gaddafi. So this is one of the strategies. This is a straightforward approach. They tell you, your leader, we need to bring democracy to your country. We need to restore peace in Iran. We need to, and they come beat the hell out of you and steal the minerals. So, but apart from this, they also use other methods. One of them being a less bloodier, but bloodier still, where they use economic methods to get the same. An example being, we have so many mineral backed loans in Africa. When I say mineral backed loans, I mean, you see the way when you go to a bank, you have to have something to back your loan as you're taking the loan. So they trick, order, whatever. They might trick, they might order, they might intimidate African politicians into signing mineral backed loans. And this is one of the reasons why most economies in Africa are collapsing. The Nigerias, the Central African Republics, because they give loans to Africa, hefty loans that are not backed by anything in the first place, despite the lie that they say that their currency is backed by gold. It can't be backed by gold when you don't produce any gold. Then you can't be the richest country in the world if your currency is backed by gold and you don't have any gold. So they give loans to African countries, billions and billions of money that is not backed by anything. In exchange for the minerals, they are mineral backed loans. That is one way that they use, that is not as bloody as the one that I was sharing, but also bloody because it keeps African countries poor and poor and poor. And now they don't even have to hide doing it because it's in the papers. It's signed. You signed your gold fields for $100 million, you know. And one thing about that is it is not even, you cannot even evaluate. It is not even possible to measure the value of the minerals that you're signing into those loans. And I had Keith join me. How are you doing, Keith?
I'm good. How are you, Demore?
I'm also doing good.
Well, the white people saying that your IQ level. So the Africans are stupid. So your IQ level is dumber than everybody on the planet. That's why you're easily dominated. You have low IQs.
Mm-hmm.
So you're supposed to be dominated because you're stupid.
But that's a lie. There's no way.
I'm just telling you what they said. I'm not saying I'm not saying it's not a lie. I'm saying what they said.
That's a big lie. We just ignorant, not stupid.
Yeah, they said saying you're ignorant, you're stupid because your IQ levels are low.
Mm-hmm.
I just heard that on somebody's show. Said, I know you guys are gonna hate me, but the African is just stupid. His IQ level, he's dumb. It just is what it is. Why he's always gonna be dominated. He's an idiot. He's like, I'm just telling the truth. Now you guys can't handle the truth. His IQ level is low, whether you like it or not. They got low IQs. White man's IQ is at least 100 or above. Africans like 74. You know? I said, boy, these despicable crackers, boy. God damn. African is dumb. It is what it is. We got nothing to do why his IQ is so low, 74. That's why they're dominated. That's why they believe in stupid shit. And that's what it is. You can't do that. I can't do nothing about their IQ level. Shit. I was like, damn.
It's crazy. The fact that they think well, in real sense, I don't care what the IQ test metrics they are going to measure. I don't care what metrics they are going to measure IQ. There are many metrics. Yeah, but trust me, if you put me against any white man, I'm beating him.
Even the Africans were stupid. Mm-hmm. What they got to do with you being a savage and put them in savage conditions? Since you're so smart,
mm-hmm.
An African is so stupid, you would think it'd be better for you to like treat them in a humane, civil way instead of saying that they're stupid. And so you're saying they're stupid, so you're supposed to exploit them. So how's it make you smarter than them? If you're saying
how are you? How are you smarter when you've stolen everything from the one with the lower IQ?
Yeah, they're saying, well, you know, that's how the world works. The strong prey on the weak. That's how it works. That's how it works in the animal kingdom. Smart, but you're supposed to be a human being. Supposedly, that's supposed to be a filthy animal. And that's supposed to prey on the weak. Since you're so smart, you would know ethically and morally that this is wrong. Since you're so smart, the African's so stupid. You say, oh, these people are too damn stupid for me to exploit. But that'll never work. See what they said, because he'll use a white. See See average IQ. You want to put up average IQ across the world globally. Average IQ globally. Now, of course, this system is biased, but I want you to see this. This is what they use. The Africans are morons. It's supposed to be dominated. The Chinese, other people come and dominate because he's stupid.
It's 82.
Huh?
Average IQ around the world is 82.
Not the average. What? Okay, let's say between white and black. So
but they're saying the average IQ in the United States is 97, but around the world it's 82.
Yeah,
so
what's average in Africa? They're saying it's 70 something. Saying you're morons.
So let me look at the intelligence quotient by countries and see what it says. They're saying apparently the country with the highest IQ is Hong Kong with 106, followed by Japan, followed by Singapore, followed by Taiwan, then China, then South Korea, Netherlands, Finland, Canada, and 10th is North Korea. Let me see where the United States is. Let me see the first African country where they have placed it. The United States is at number 30. The first African country is at, they have Thailand before any other African country, before any African country. So the first African country, I know it's not Nigeria, is actually Kenya. No, it's Egypt with an average.
Egypt is not an African country.
Yeah, the first African country is Kenya. When we talk about African, it's Kenya with 74. Just
so 74 means you're 74 means you're borderline retarded. That's what it's telling.
It's around the same. It's around the same average IQ as Jamaica, and
that's all African. They're saying you're retarded.
Mm-hmm.
But saying Africa, they're saying you're borderline retarded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Kenya, Tanzania, Zimbabwe, that is basically where all African countries fall in 70s. 74. Let me see if they.
I said this when they were in the 70s. Said anything under 70, you're borderline retarded. They're saying you're mentally 75 and under is retarded, Demore, or slightly retarded. They're saying the Africans, you're dominant because you're retarded. You're stupid. Why you believe in Jesus and Allah and all this other crazy shit needs to dominate because you're retarded. He said, don't blame us that you're retarded.
Blame your IQ.
Yeah. Blame that your God made you stupid. I was like, motherfucker. This said, yeah, I know you're gonna call me racist. I know you're gonna call me racist. It's just the truth. African people are gonna be dominant. They're just stupid. They believe anything that's true. How can a whole race of people be told that they change their whole belief system to white people if they're not stupid? Because the white guy was saying we also dominate the Chinese and the Asians. They never accepted our religion and worship us. They thought it was a slight. But all the Africans worship us and still can't get underneath it. It's because they're stupid. The IQ level, so they're all dumb. I said, listen, this motherfucker here. He said, I don't know. I'm not being racist. I'm just the truth. I'm telling you the truth. The IQ level, they're all stupid. So that's why they're dominated. I know people don't get mad at me, call me racist, but it is what it is. If you can't deal with the truth, you can't deal with the truth. The African is borderline retarded. I said, what are you talking about this 74? Because I know 75 and under is borderline retarded. Because I took the IQ, my IQ is 130. All right, what? 74? So, man, I don't believe that shit. So he's right. That's what it says, but I don't believe it. But I don't believe that shit whatsoever. I don't believe that shit.
I don't know what he's gonna say about Nepal, which has an IQ of 51, according to this report right here.
He said they're retarded. Anything under 70 is borderline retarded.
With Gambia and Guinea you know. But I
what is Gambia and Guinea in the 60s?
50s.
God damn. God damn. Shout out to your cousin. Shit.
Nah, I know Gambians are not the smartest people, but 50 is not it. They're not the smartest, considering they're thinking about reestablishing FGM.
Shout out to your cousin over exploiting their ass.
Come on, 50, it can't be a 50. I know they're not the smartest people.
Damn.
In the planet, in the continent.
Under 80. Yeah, exactly. Under 80. I thought it was under 75. Is it under 80? Under 75 means you're fucking 7500 means you're retarded. They said all of Africa is retarded.
Yeah, Jiba Jaba is saying under 80 they put you in special education.
Special ed, I know. I thought it was 75. I thought it was 75 was 80. I thought it was 75 and under. When he said, now listen, he said all of Africa is retarded. He said all these motherfuckers are stupid. They're retarded. That's why they're easily dominated. That's why they believe in stupid shit. And you argue with you about why they're all in these churches and these mosques because they're retarded.
But let me ask, what happens when you take a person who's smart with an IQ of 130 like you, put them in ignorance for 60, 70 years? What happens, kid?
You call it ignorance. Your IQ level probably goes down. I don't believe that IQ test, Demore. I believe it's racially biased.
Mm-hmm.
They say, no, if racially biased, why we talk all the Asians are smarter? Because those are your cousins, you fucking animal. Those are your cousins. But yeah, so it's 80. I didn't even know, Jim. I was this cracker talk yesterday. I was sitting there listening to him. I thought I was gonna do the show, but I said, no, I got all weekend. Then they called me and I'm leaving. I gotta leave out Sunday. I gotta do 2 shows today. Shit. So I didn't know show yesterday.
There's a very interesting aspect of this research from what is the source of this? Worlddata.info. If you look at there's a column written.
They got Africa all in red. Africa the dumbest motherfuckers. Africa all except for and the Arab countries are higher than Africa, but most African countries are all fucking just borderline fucking retarded. They got Kenya and Tanzania a little bit higher than fucking, but they still retarded because he's still 75 and 80 and under. But,
it's the same as the Middle East. The Kenya, Tanzania, and the Arabs were put under the same column.
And you got Nepal up there retarded. You got India retarded. But look, all the white countries are green, like your Australia, your Americas, your South America ain't even in green. But they got the white people down Argentina who killed up all the black people. It's almost halfway, almost green. Because remember they killed off all the black people in Argentina down there in South America. So now this is almost green because it's almost European. You got Mexico, not that smart. They almost green. But down there where you got the black country of Belize, underneath Mexico is all in red. Look at that shit. All in red. Remember, Belize is an African country down there underneath Mexico. They all retarded. So look at this shit. They got Africa in extreme red. God damn. It says a bunch of retarded motherfuckers running around Africa. Like Jim was in the 80, I thought it was 75. I know it was 80, but I knew when they said yeah, the Africans, all the Africans are 75. I said, Dex, me growing up, I said 75, that's fucking retarded. He said the Africans are fucking retarded. That's why they easily dominate. I'm just be honest. Don't get mad at me because they're retarded. That's what that's what the IQ test says. That's why they're dominated. That's why you can come in their country and they still worship you to this day. Yeah, ask any white man that comes in Africa, they be smiling in your face. I'm like, this cracker, he had me angry. That cracker had me so angry. I was like, calm down, Key. Calm down. Calm down. It had me so angry. I'm like, don't let them get your emotions. Calm down. I was angry as hell. You go to Africa, everybody still worship you. You come in, you do what you want to do with their IQ level. And it just is what it is. Don't get mad. He's like, he was all mad. It is what it is. You don't like the truth? Then you don't like it. It ain't my fault they fucking retarded. They're fucking retarded. God damn. Anything under 8, that's right. I thought it was 75 and under. I heard because as soon as he said 75, I said, he's calling it. He didn't say retarded. I said it. See, he calling out motherfuckers retarded. 75 and under is retarded. Like God. Now I know Africans are caught in ignorance. I will agree with that. That's on purpose. But to be talking about the IQ level, I'm like, nah, I think the Africans, all this ignorance that goes in Africa, and then you gotta, the ignorance is so they're kept ignorant. They're kept in a retarded state. That's what the educational does to them.
That was what I was actually talking about. The third column here talks about education expenditure per inhabitant.
Yeah.
Look at the education expenditure in Hong Kong, for example.
And you got $1,000. And you got to pay to be retarded. School fees. You got to pay to be retarded.
Let's do a comparison of the education expenditure per inhabitant in these countries, the three countries. They're both at 1,200 plus.
Because they knew they couldn't develop without the people. The more Africans are so fucking corrupt, they don't know you can't develop a country without the people being educated. They're scared of education.
The education expenditure per inhabitant in Kenya is $60. $60.
Yeah, because they're scared because the white man took. They know, Demore, you educated, you're not going to be 75 in IQ. You're going to overthrow them. So it benefits them for you to be stupid. Listen, how you get a group of people, Demore? This goes back to by being. You just got flooded out, right? You got flooded, no response, and you still chill the government because they give you a holiday. That means you're a moron. The whole country's full of morons, and they know that. They've done that on purpose. It's not just Kenyans, all through Africa. These despots do not want to educate African people because they'll be overthrown. You can't stay in poverty and know what the hell is going on, Demore. So besides him saying it, they keep you retarded. They keep you not, and like I said, the expenditure of money, they do that on purpose. So it's not that Africa's got low IQ. They keep you in a low IQ.
They have countries in Africa that spend as low as $1. Somalia, the education expenditure in Somalia is $1. That's why their IQ is 69. $1.
That's why they're stupid.
That doesn't even buy you a KFC, but that's the expenditure per inhabitant.
Yeah, because the governments are so corrupt and they don't care about their people. They've already know that if I educate my people, Demore, they're going to overthrow me.
And this is what makes me mad. For example, we had the Kenyan president talk about how he was talking about how Kenyans are undertaxed in comparison to the likes of. He was giving an example of Singapore, saying that Kenya's taxation in comparison to the GDP, in comparison to the earning, is much, much lower. It's actually very, very low. But then why don't you? So my question is, why are you choosing on the things to compare, or are you just comparing on the taxes? How about you tell us the difference in the education expenditure in Singapore and in Kenya? How about you tell us
and development?
How about you tell us the difference in the average income people earn in Singapore in comparison to Kenya? How about you tell us how much money was lost in corruption last year in Singapore in comparison to Kenya?
They kill you in Singapore. They kill you. You're getting that ass out of there in Singapore, Demore. They don't fuck around with no corruption. They're getting rid of you. And they got free education, Demore. It's free. Their tax dollars pay for it. Ain't nobody paying no school fees and shit, except for African people. There's no allocation for it. So that's why I want you to tell you, Africans run like a thiefdom, Demore. See, as you learn all this stuff, you know your IQ is not 74. That's why they want to keep you stupid. Keep it not knowing shit. So shout out to like you said, your mom. Your mom would be worshiping a white man doctor. That's the ignorance. They want to keep you in the same level as your parents. They want to keep you in that retarded state. They laugh about you. Oh, it ain't about the Africans are retarded. And that guy, mad. They're not even 80. That's why he says not even 80. I forgot that it was 80 and below. I thought it was 75. When I was growing up, I remember in school too. If you got a 75 IQ, your ass is retarded. Like, God damn, you retarded around here. So I'm like, what? So he said, yeah, the Africans all got 75, 70 something, 60. That's why they can't defend themselves. They're He say retarded. I know what that means. I know because he was on YouTube. He was saying that the fucking stupid. He said the African's dominant because he's stupid. And I said,
So
75. That's fucking retarded.
I've just seen the table that the president was using to compare. So it's called the tax to GDP ratio. That is the one that he was used. So they apparently increased taxes again. Yep, on Thursday on the new financial bill. So he was saying that Kenya is among the countries in the world that pay the least tax. He said Kenya's tax to GDP ratio is at 15%. In the United States, it's at 27.7%. In Singapore, it's at 28%.
Because these are developed countries.
Yep.
You're not a developed country.
Yep. So if I pay 28% of my, if you told me to pay 28% of my total earnings to taxes, and education is free, medical care is free, I wouldn't really mind because the money.
Because the money's actually going to benefit your society. Exactly right, DeMar.
You give me a mortgage to get a house. So why do I really? You can take even 30%. I'm not paying rent at the end of the month. I'm not paying for school fees. I'm not, so I don't know why he's choosing on what to compare. And, the comparison is selective. He's just picking.
The comparison is idiotic. He knows your people not like you. They're not going to go look up and say this is stupid. You're a developing country full of loan debt. Singapore doesn't have any loan debt. He's doing that to pay back the loans that they stolen. You got the truck. Hold on. I'm on here. Let me do this real quick. Let me do this. Take that down, DeMar. Let me share my screen real quick.
Okay.
Let me do this. Real quick. Let me do this real quick.
Yep, and people were clapping when they heard that Kenya pays the lowest taxes. 15%. I'll share a video of him saying that.
See, that's the ignorance again.
So when he says that by the end of his term he wants to take the tax to GDP ratio to 20%, which, as he said, is lower by 8% than that of Singapore. So we're not even paying much tax, and that is what people are going to convince you.
Wow, you sound crazy as cat shit. Now, okay, he sound crazy, but he knows. See, these Africans despots get away with just saying all kind of reprehensible shit because they know that people are ignorant. They love. That's why they always put that religion on you too. These African niggas don't. They know that shit's a lie. Most of these niggas in Africa, they know that shit's a lie. But let me share this. Okay, so we want to say, since you want to compare yourself to Singapore, does Kenya look like this? So we're gonna compare Singapore to Kenya, moron. Talking about a developed country and an underdeveloped country. So if you think we have this kind of text, we're gonna say right here, right? Okay. Let me know when you guys can see my screen.
It's up.
Okay. We're gonna take a walk around Singapore. Just a random walk. So we'll see. Does Kenya look like this, or any African country? Well, maybe South Africa. That's the only closest one.
Now this looks like a video game.
Hope they go in the subway. Hope they go down in the subways and over to the damn road construction. That they do. They don't bring the Chinese to their road construction. They do their own shit. Imagine that. They do their own roads. They don't gotta call the Chinese and build their roads and shit. But compare Singapore with damn Kenyans. How crazy is cat shit?
I think I'll
Now,
for
this is the whole
comparison
country.
for
You walk around,
comparison
I don't see
purposes.
no
Yeah.
dirt roads. I don't see no
Mhm.
crazy looking shit.
Mhm.
The country's fully developed. This will be like this all throughout the whole country, not just in the city center. You might see this in Kenya, in the city center. This is all of Singapore looks like this, all of it.
I think the problem is the people we call economists in Africa they just copy paste policies without getting the context. Because how do you
Well,
sit down? Yeah, how do you sit down and compare the tax GDP ratio of this place to the tax to GDP ratio of Kenya?
You can't because you're a developing country. Say that, but the African wants to play games and act like they stupid. Oh, we're not developing. You're a developing country. The fuck are you talking about? You can't compare yourself to Singapore. It's retarded. You don't make the same kind of income. Your educational level's not the same. You know.
So since we're
Yeah.
doing a walk around the city, why don't we see a walk around the city of the country that we're comparing to Singapore also?
Yeah. You know, you see potholes, you're gonna see dirt roads, all kind of crazy shit. But Kenya would be richer because look at pothole thing all fucked up. But Kenya's actually richer, but it's mismanaged.
Yeah, it's actually Nairobi is actually a better looking city than most African cities. So what you're seeing here is among the best cities we have in Africa. If not, it's top 5 biggest cities in Africa. I'm sure of that. Maybe Lagos. Yeah, so I'll let you. I'm gonna mute my mic for a minute. There's some construction work happening in the studio. Some maintenance.
It's okay. It's okay. The more we get the construction work, it's all right. Calm down. You muted yourself, so we can't what the hell you say.
If I don't mute myself, you're gonna go deaf.
It's just pothole, you know. And sad enough, but compared to South Africa, it's not. That's what the more tells you. If the white people think they would have built it like South Africa. Yeah, I've been to South Africa. I'm not gonna lie. Cape Town is fucking beautiful, man, except for the black parts. Cape Town is modern as any American city. Johannesburg and Pretoria are gorgeous because white people stay there. They're gonna develop where they live at. Yeah, so, you know. So we'll say this is developed, but really it's not. Because I don't like to put down any African country. So this would be developing. But this be considered a modern city? Fuck no. Not in the rest of the world it wouldn't be. Look at these damn roads and these damn sidewalks and shit. No, hell no. This would be considered the poor. You know, this would be considered the poor area town in America. Man, it's the poor area right here. Shit. Try to stay up out of there. You know damn well that's what they would say. And it's the poor area. I ain't trying to fuck around over there and shit. That's the poor area town and shit. Because the funny part about this right here, what he's showing would be the black area town in America. This black area right here and shit. It wouldn't be where all the crackers live at. This would be the black area. Right? But see, the Africans have been kept so, I don't want to go by the IQ chart. They've been kept so ignorant. They think this is, look, you don't know a train that the Chinese built is old and raggedy technology. The ignorance level is crazy. That's why that white man, yeah, man, these motherfuckers right here. Exactly, yeah. That would be considered the black area. You know what I'm saying? This ain't, look how developed this shit. They said, no, that's where the niggas stay right here. You know, that's where all the niggas stay up in this shit, right? In America, this be the niggas, where the niggas stay. Looks all half dilapidated and shit. Look at that shit. This is where all the niggas, that'd be the nigga part of LA. Look at this, where these niggas stay. That's where these niggas stay at in LA. Look at this shit here. You won't see no white people over that motherfucker. Man, you fuck around over that. That's nigga, they call that shit nigga town or niggerville. That's niggerville right there. I'm going over there where the niggas stay. So, you know, if I if I showed you with Nairobi, which is the capital, I gave you another city. Just go to Cape Town, South Africa. You would see completely different. Just go do a walk around Cape Town. It's not even the capital of South Africa. Just do a walk around Cape Town, South Africa. It looks completely different than this shit here. You think you're in the best Americans? Cape Town looks like San Francisco or some shit. You're like, God. Exactly. You be told, roll your window up, honey. It's dangerous around this bitch. Walking in this air, Demore and showing. They think, but they would think that's the Africans think that's what they deserve. That's modern. Look at Kenya. Motherfucker, you 50 years behind. Now look at this Cape Town. Walk around. Now compare that with you. This ain't even the capital of South Africa. Compare Cape Town with what you just seen in goddamn Nairobi, their capital. It's 100 times difference. 100 times. Everything's gonna be built right. They're gonna have the same kind of dirt streets, have shit tore up. Now this is Africa. This is South Africa. And this ain't even the capital. This is Cape Town. Might have been San Francisco. I'm with that. I said, God damn, this motherfucker pretty. This motherfucker nice. Shit. This motherfucker is nice. So that's what Demore was saying. This is what Demore was saying. If white people had stayed in Kenya, they would have built it like this. And I'm sure they would. They would have controlled it. The blacks would have been on the bottom. And, certain areas they couldn't go in and shit like that. So, yeah, the Africans would never got free in supposedly 1960. He's right. The whites would have completely built up Kenya. But they would have owned all of it. All of it. See what they do now in South Africa. You see all the white people chilling? You don't see no black people in there chilling. The black people be the ones working. See the black guy down there, he's working. See the black guy? He the one working. The black people working and shit. All the white people run around chilling. I seen that shit that be sad, right? I mean, the city is nice as fuck. So all the white people be chilling, doing with their feet up. All the black people be working hard and slaving and shit like that. It's so obvious. It's like, it's disturbing. See, Africans in South Africa are used to being the slaves. So it don't look, you coming from out of South Africa going looking at that shit. You see, all the Africans are working. They all the workers. All the white people are the ones chilling, coming and buying shit. They the ones walking in the streets. All the black people are working for poverty wages. All the Africans work for poverty wages and shit. It's crazy. So, and look, see, they'll boost South Africa's IQ score, but the black South Africans are some of the dumbest people in the country. I mean, in Africa. The Kenyan is actually smarter than the South African black. See, now look at this shit here. This is not right. Look at this shit here. This is developed. You out of your fucking mind? This is the bad neighborhood anyway. You're talking about? You crazy? This is underdeveloped like a motherfucker. Because that money don't never go to develop Africa. Never does it. And since the African doesn't know through his education, this is wrong. This is not right. That's why they only play $60 per, like they play $60 for education. Because I need them to be dumb to have this kind of development and nobody say, hey, we got to get a revolution going around here. Something ain't right. We got to get a revolution around here. We don't deserve this shit. That's why they keep Africans ignorant. And Guinea, he said that shit is 50. I'm like, damn it. You're not even. This
is Gambia, which has an average IQ of 50 according to.
See, so this Gambia right. See, this where Demore's cousin is exploiting these people at. Because their IQ is 50. Look at this shit here.
But you saw they spend $12 in education expenditure per person. I mean, what do you expect? And it's $12 per person in educational expenditure.
And Mumpy Dapper, who we don't got the most from Gambia, he told you when he left, came back, everybody was stupid, man. The level of ignorance here is crazy. Shout out to you, Mumpy Dapper, when Joby was asking about you. I don't know what happened to you, brother. When he came back, they told He's part of their tribe. He said get out of here. You're not. I forgot. Is he Mandinka? I think Mumpy Dad was Mandinka. Get out of here. You're not part of our tribe. Because he went away. He went away to Kenya and Ethiopia to study and shit. He came back. He told him, you take your ass back to Niger. I'm telling him, take his ass back to Niger. He said, I'm from here. You're not our tribe. What? He told us that shit on one of the show. That shit was so hilarious. When he said it. He said, keep the ignorance level and Gambia, you can't explain it. I said, I know, man. I know. That's why you can look at this level of development shit like, and an African just live in it. It's not the African IQ, it's his demeanor, his loving, calm demeanor. He'll live in this kind of shit and won't think he'd say, hey man, this is fucked up. We gotta overthrow these governments. But this is what all of Africa looks like. Majority of Africa looks like this. You go Nigeria, Ghana, it's the same shit. It's the same shit. Tanzania.
Talking about Lagos, we were about to talk about Lagos next. Today we were talking about blood minerals and how most insecurity cases in Africa are raised.
All right, dude, while you talk about it, give us a tour around. Just say walk around Lagos. Yeah, give us that.
Yes.
See, look, and everybody got these little crazy ass hand carts. You see the same shit that dude's carrying in Kenya too. Everybody got these rickety ass hand cart type deals. You walk around carrying shit on that rickety ass shit. You know, look at this shit.
Most of the walk-arounds are by white people, by the way.
Of course, they're doing poverty porn. This makes money. Look at these niggas, how they live. It's all fucked up. Look at this shit. Look at this underdeveloped ass shit. Look at this. And the sad fact, this is the shit that was left over by the white people when the British controlled this shit. Nothing's been developed. Look at all these old ass buildings. This shit's like from the 1950s. All these old dilapidated ass buildings. This shit's from the 50s. Look at this shit. You can tell this shit. I can look at the infrastructure but this is from the 50s. This is from the 50s right here. Look at this down the street. This is not no new development, new building. This is from the 50s. I'm looking at the shit. So it means when these niggas got power, they never built nothing new. That's why this shit look all old and dilapidated. This shit when the British were there. This is the British shit. Look, another one of these old dilapidated park right here on the right.
Maybe that's the reason it's so easy to convince Africans that why it not for the white people? You know, if the white people had stayed longer, we would be having. It's so easy to convince them because they look at the buildings they have. You walk around Nairobi, walk around Kampala, and you'll see buildings from 1936 are the ones that are there. You know, so that's why it's so easy for.
He says the culture. Yeah, I'm not saying it's the intellect. I'm telling you what I'll listen to a white guy say something. Yes, it made me mad. I'm not saying that. I was listening to something, Byron. This white guy was talking. I know he's even going to African people. He went completely sideways. He was talking about white people surviving, and we might have to fight these Africans. But anyway, they want to blame us. He was saying they want to blame us. Blame your IQ. They stupid. He said so. He said blame that. He caught me off guard. He took me completely like he said blame your IQ. Average African IQ is 75. I said what? That's retarded. I mean, literally, that means retarded, right? So, he said African people are retarded. I said, man, what the hell is he talking about? So I got angry. I got all up in my feelings. I was all angry and shit. Like, what? They talking about? Yeah, don't blame us that you're retarded. That's why you control. Most Africans have a very high, and they do. But their intellect doesn't match their. Emotional intellect. They'll stay in shit and poverty and won't do nothing about it. The docility. Go ahead.
This is Lagos, Nigeria, and the reason I've shared.
The more I guess yours the worst.
I want you to see this first. This is a slum. This is a slum in Lagos. Listen. Now the reason I've shared this video is because I'm about to talk about the minerals they have, and of course, the white person
showing it.
Yeah, of course.
Look at this kind of crazy shit. Only African would live in this kind of shit.
The reason I've shared this video is because I'm about to talk about the mineral endowments in Nigeria, and I want you to compare and tell me whether
people swimming in shit.
we should be having such things in a country that is
No,
perhaps
you shouldn't have it nowhere in Africa at all, Damari.
one of the biggest natural gas producer, one of the biggest oil producers,
White guy
one of the
looking at
biggest skin producers, one of the biggest.
And the white guy doing this poverty porn. Look at how these. Look at the river and these niggas swimming in shit. He's swimming in. And he's happy. And look, and he's all happy. He can, yeah, look at where I live, white man. I'm happy. I got my banana, whatever the hell he eating. It's all great. Instead of saying, man, we gotta what? It's time to overthrow this government. And that's one thing I do agree with Donald Trump. He said only niggas can live like this. Can nobody live like this shit and don't do nothing? Only black people, and because they got the calm demeanor. I'm about to tell you, you're the same people. You got the same nice, calm demeanor. Oh, you got to turn up your sound, Damari.
Yep. So I was looking at how much Nigeria makes in terms of oil revenue every year, because it doesn't at all reflect.
Finally protested time. Oh, I lost the money.
Yep. So Nigeria makes about 5.58 trillion. That is in Nigerian naira. Let me convert that to dollars. That is how much it makes every year from oil and gas sales. Most of the oil and gas is sold to the United States. So let me see how much that is in US dollars. It doesn't reflect at all in what you're gonna see around. In as much as the video I've shared was made from a poverty porn point of view, it doesn't take the fact away that what he showed was what is there. In as much as he had, it was a poverty porn type of video, it still doesn't take away the fact that people actually live like this in Nigeria. So they're saying that Nigeria made about 7.44 billion USD in terms of oil money last year. 7.44 billion.
Live like USD. That. It live like that in Kenya too. We talking about you're not swimming on shit. The poverty that was the same throughout Africa. But see, always white people out there, always a white person. Look at this. I'm in Nigeria. I want you to look how fucked up it is. Niggas, since we left them, look at this. Is the development.
He's gonna set up a GoFundMe page and talk about how he wants
all right.
to
Send money. That's right. I want to send money to help these poor wretched ass niggas. Send money. I want to send me money. Look at this. Look at this shit here. Look at this. One of the richest countries on the planet.
It's not even top 5 biggest slums in Africa. It's not close to being.
Kenya got the biggest slum.
Yeah.
That Kibera shit's the biggest. That shit's crazy. And now that shit's flooded, and they gonna have people move back into that shit. This shit gonna fall on people's heads. You can't have no flooding. It's now unstable. That shit's gonna collapse on people and shit. They'll be in there. Man, I took them damn trips, and that Kibera shit is crazy. What, you think I live in this shit? Motherfucker, it's time to revolt. You out of your mind? I'd rather die than live in that shit. Shit. But the Africans been taught to be scared of death. They taught to, Jesus, and I like to be scared, don't die. Motherfucker, fuck that. I'm not living in that shit right there.
Let me. You know what really makes these problems never end is, one, I would say there's a disentanglement between reality and what is, because let me share a video of Nigeria's richest neighborhood so that you see, you compare. That is where the rich, that is where the politicians.
I know, I've seen that.
So why would they care about people who live in rivers?
I know. There's mansions everywhere. You got mansions in Lagos, got mansions in Abuja. You got that banana island out there with number $1 million homes. You got $1 million homes in Kenya too. It don't mean anything. But the majority of people live like that. Everybody's not rich in fucking Nigeria. The majority live like his ass. Fucked up. The majority of people. Now, we know you got nice neighborhoods, but I don't give a shit. That's not the majority. That's 2% of the population. The majority live like this, Negro, and rich ass Africa.
The 2% of the population that you're talking about, kid, is the one that has put the other 98%.
I know.
They don't really care, They are never going, Yep.
I know, Damari. I know they're the ones work with the Europeans. They're the ones put the other Africans in poverty, and they ain't gonna do shit. Even other countries they still make sure their country look halfway decent. You might got some. Go ahead.
if we had all of them living, if we had all of the whole of Africa living like the video that I showed you, it would have been better if the whole of Africa was living in rivers. Like the first video, they would actually do something. But now they live here. Why would they do something about there? You know, they don't
Because you
care
think
about.
they would care
They'll
about their
never
own.
be there.
You think they would care about their own people and how the country is displayed as a whole? Because people
And
not
that's where you go wrong.
people
That's
not
where
going
you
to
go wrong.
Nigeria.
Thinking
Right.
that they would
People not
care.
going to Nigeria to look at that shit right there, or going to Kenya. They got places just as beautiful in Kenya, just like this. All throughout Africa, you got these places. These are one of the people that are stealing. You got places all throughout Africa like this. Kenya has them. You see how Demore shows you that beautiful city they building for the UN? It's fucking gorgeous. They got beautiful places in fucking Kenya. I've been to beautiful places all throughout Africa.
Yep.
But it's not for the majority of Africans. But
So
see,
this
the only
is
reason,
where
only reason,
the people who are supposed to fix
yes,
the slums live here.
yes.
That's why they don't care about people living on top of rivers, because they have never seen that for the they
That's why when
don't
you go,
even understand how.
see, but this is why you go, even though the white man might be corrupt, but he'll build the whole country at least enough for the whole. So that's why when you go to South Africa, they got their little slums, but not like the rest of Africa. The majority of the country looks like what Demore showing with Nigeria, because white people live there. So the country is built out with nice homes all throughout South Africa, because white people stay there. They're not going to have all their people. They're going to have, they're unfair. They're not going to have all their people like Africa living in slums and shit. The Africans just have a few nice places like this, and everybody all fucked up in big ass, crazy ass slums. See, look how nice. That's nice as shit. That's fucking beautiful. These are all the fake politicians that are robbing and stealing from the country. But the Africans will still go back. Yay! He's my tribe. He's my tribe. Yes, he's my tribe. Dance. They dance all stupidly. Look at my tribal mate lives. He's my tribe.
No, brother, your tribe are the people you live with in the stinking water.
How about that, Demore? Yep. See, now you're talking about Demore's too smart. And now you got to go back to having a 75 IQ, Demore. You got to say no. He's my tribe. Look at him. He's my tribe up in that house. He's my tribe. Not the motherfucker in the streets with your ass. Demore's right. Person that's struggling with you in the street, that's your tribe, moron. That's your brother in arms. Not some moron living in a big house. Somebody, he's a Kamba. He's a goddamn Kikuya. He's just, you living in fucking Kibera. He's not your tribe. The president is part of my tribe. Well, you living in Kibera all fucked up. The president's my tribe. Yeah. Motherfucker, you ain't got electricity in this bitch.
They use the word mtuwetu. In Swahili they say mtuwetu, like our person.
Okay.
Our person is the one on the our person.
And that's what the Europeans talk about, the short-sightedness of African people. Everybody keeps talking about the IQ level.
That's why they're telling you have an IQ of 74.
Yeah.
Because with that reasoning, I would.
Yeah, exactly. But the most of that reason means you're retarded, Demore.
Yeah.
You're retarded. Doesn't make any sense. He's not been sound crazy as cat shit telling anybody that shit. Hey man, hey, you can say, hey brother, aren't you an adult? Don't mention that no more. You see the fuck where you live at? The motherfucker next door to you is your tribe, you moron.
Yeah. That's your tribe right there. And Nigeria, is this Nigeria? The whole of Nigeria is supposed to look like this. We calculated the amount of money Nigeria should make.
All of Africa is supposed to look like this, Demore. If you had the United States of Africa, Demore, all of Africa is supposed to look like this.
Mm-hmm.
You're the wealthiest continent on the planet. All of Black Africa is supposed to look like this. All the money, the trillions of dollars has been stolen out the country. Remember, Africa has built Europe, built Asia, built Singapore, Africa, built America. If Africans had control of their wealth, this is how all of Africa is supposed to live and look like. White people are supposed to be your maids. You're not supposed to be theirs. They'll be your maid. You're supposed to be your maid, not the other way around.
We should be the one doing poverty porn in your neighborhood.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Showing you hungry and poor. That's
right. You're the one with the diamonds, the cobalt.
Setting up a GoFundMe for people in California, not a GoFundMe for people in Lagos, which has a lot of, I can't even, if I was to start talking about the minerals in this country, that is why I'm saying not just the whole of Nigeria.
Same minerals in Kenya too.
Mm-hmm.
Same minerals. You got coltan. You just found coltan. You got gold. You just don't control it. White man does. You just don't know about it. Same minerals all throughout Africa. You got it too. It's all throughout Kenya too. You just don't control it. Same wealth as in Nigeria as in Kenya. You got gold. You got oil. It's untapped. You just don't know about it. The white man's got that. The white people ain't left Kenya. Shit. Fuck out of here. Shit. Got the land, all them tea farms. That's billions of dollars a year. Flowers they grow, billions of dollars. All of Kenya should look like this. All of Africa should look like this.
So I'm actually curious to see what the richest city in Africa looks like, because we know what the richest city in Africa is supposed to be. Let me see.
Probably Cape Town or Johannesburg.
Not that one. This is supposed to be the richest city in the world, not just in Africa. This right here, Kinshasa. Let me see how it. I want to see what it looks like.
This is it's impoverished because
in reality, it's supposed to be the richest city in Africa.
Because all the minerals are there, Demore, but not it's poverty.
This is a city. This is a city from the country that powers the world.
I know, Demore, but it's impoverished because Africans
they don't even look powered themselves.
No, exactly. Look at that shit. I'm walking on that shit.
Yeah, so this is the biggest city in the richest country in the world, because DRC is the richest country in the world. And if you want to know DRC is the richest country in the world, look at how seriously they treat DRC. DRC is treated very seriously. It was, in fact, the first country in Africa to have its leader assassinated in 1961.
Impoverished, Demore. Come on.
Yep.
God damn. Stop being so cruel. See, you got that makeshift cart. That guy who look like you seen in damn Kenya, same when you see fucking a Gambia, that makeshift cart pulling that goofy shit around. It's the same shit. I told you. That's why you exploit the system. You're the same people. Those borders didn't change that you're the same people. Those borders just made you believe you're different people now because the white man put the borders up. We were stealing. Just look the same. I wouldn't know if I was in Kenya looking at this shit. Gambia,
if you don't see the caption, you'll not know which African country this is. This actually looks like Kenya, it looks like Uganda, it looks like Nigeria.
Exactly.
You need to see the caption in order to know what African country it is.
That's what I'm telling them. Exactly, Demore. Exactly. Yep. One thing I do know, I know it ain't South Africa, goddammit. I know that. He got that cart, he got that hand, that goofy cart right there, dragging shit. Same on the all poverty written.
I think the only country that I can tell apart is maybe Nigeria, maybe Lagos, because there is going to be a brother somewhere trying to spam someone. So if you see someone, that is Lagos. That is definitely Lagos.
I'm not even enjoying that. That's the Moray family. I'm not even gonna go. I'm not gonna laugh at his joke. Not me. You guys come for Demore, not me. I'm not the one saying nothing. You got no choice but to scam living like this. Shit crazy. This shit. Look at this shit here, man. It's always, remember, it's now since the African came with the Europeans, always struggle.
And I remember, kids, we asked this question as we were growing up also. How come we are so poor and they're so rich? And we were given a theory. There's a theory called it's called the development theory. I might not get the wording right, but it's thereabout. So the theory says, the theory goes that Africa is poor because it's young.
Africa's not young. I'm
telling you about the theory that we were taught in school. We were told that Africa is poor because it's young. They'll tell you Kenya gained independence in 1963. The US. When did the US gain independence from whoever they gained from?
That's big time. It's about going by white people and putting their governments in. I always showed you the letter when the white men were going around Africa, some of they're rich. So how you go rich to poor? No, you're not poor because you're young. You're poor because you're exploited. You're not poor because Young country, not stupid. See, that's the bad education you get. We're poor because we're young. What?
Yeah, so they'll tell you the US is rich because it gained independence in 1776. You just gained independence in 1963.
No,
so how are you comparing yourself?
No. The more look, America was already rich when it first gained independence. You know why? Because of slavery, slave labor from Africans. It was wealthy. It's one of the wealthiest countries on the planet because of slavery. No labor paid, building their empire. America didn't start off poor, start off rich. So that's a lie. See, the bad educational system that you get is absolutely crazy. So how do you unlearn all these lies you've been taught? That's why it's only 60.
I actually believed that, Keith. I actually believed, and I know many people believe the same, that
of course,
by the time maybe Kenya gets to 100 years of independence, by the time Ghana gets to 100
You'll
years
be
of
the same.
independence, we are gonna be more developed because
no, you won't.
Look at
No, you won't. You won't be. No, you won't be. You won't be. You won't be one of the most developed because your system is based on poverty. They extract the resources. They're about to try to extract your wealth out the countries, give it to Asians, and Europeans, and not you. So the idea that you just time ain't got shit to do. You're already wealthy. You're the wealthiest people before white man showed up. When nobody living in this kind of poverty, when the white man showed you were wealthy. That's why the guy said, I don't know how we're gonna conquer these people. They have nothing. I mean, we have nothing they need or want. They have everything. They're wealthy.
So I've actually seen the theory in itself. It's called the demographic dividend theory. That's the theory we were taught in business class. It says that, so its main pillar is that an educated workforce is going to lead to an economic productivity. So young countries do not have educated young forces, so that is why they are not.
That's all, but you still don't got educated young forces. Okay, tell me this, Demore. Singapore got freedom the same time you did. Why is Singapore developed and you're not? And look up. Say, when did Singapore gain independence?
Let me check that out.
From the Dutch. They say in the 60s. 63, 62, 60. And they told you, the Singapore first president told you, you must educate your people. That's gotta be your number one thing. Africa never did that because the white man told, well, I'm gonna put you in power. You educate them, they're gonna throw you because they're gonna know you're corrupt. Because they know you're gonna be giving your money to me.
No, but they're gonna. Our first lady told us that Korea, which gained independence at around the same time, is more developed because they prayed for them. That's why we were told.
Singapore.
No. I'm not talking about Singapore. I'm talking about Korea. Our first lady told us Korea is way ahead because. So this is what she said. Her exact words. She said South Korea is way ahead of us because they experienced a great.
Going back to the IQ level again. You're a moron. You are an absolute moron. The Kenyan government was only set up by the United States. Like I told you, set up by the United States because they wanted to counterbalance North Korea. So the bankers propped up South Korea, gave it industry, like they eventually did China. There was no damn because they prayed and all this dumb shit. Sound crazy. When did Singapore gain independence, Demore? I'm gonna do it myself. When did Singapore gain independence? Let me see. Let's check. Just all the old backward stupid shit.
It was in 1965.
So after Kenya. So your theory's destroyed, Demore. Still, your nonsense they teach you is nonsense. Well, they teach it. It's nonsense. 65 is when Singapore got independence. And it's now a developed country. So what they tell, so all your fake praying to Jesus, the Lord, because the Lord, if you don't get this goopy bitch out of power talking stupid to you, talking nonsense to African people, sound crazy as cat shit. We're a young country. Somebody said, Demore being a moron is no laughing matter.
No, it's because you asked why is Singapore more developed than Kenya, and it's less, you might ask the same about Korea, and I gave you the answer that they would give you. We were
I know.
told.
Well, you can't.
She said that this. I'm not even. It's not an old video. Let me find the video. She said that
Singapore's not Christian. Japan after World War II is not Christian. They're developed. Shit. Japan got developed like in 20 years. And they got bombed twice. What are you talking about? That shit they tell you don't add up. It's nonsense. Now, please don't show me this moronic lady talking about praying. Oh my God. See that? And the people are like, yeah, if we pray more, yeah. And 100 years later, your grandchildren just be just as fucked up. Grandpa Demore, why are we in poverty? Because you didn't pray hard enough, baby. We didn't pray hard enough. But goddamn, we've been here 100 years now. How long we got to keep praying? And so, being a moron, you'll believe that crazy shit. Yeah, we ain't praying. Are you talking about praying hard enough? God already gave you all the minerals. You're the richest continent. So why you got to pray for more? So God gave them, what you do with them is your business now. You do it looks like shit looks like this. This crazy shit. They happy walking.
Yep, so that was the theory that was taught in business school. It was called the dividend theory.
In
I don't know.
school.
Young countries. It's I wanna know who developed this theory, by the way. Let me see who developed this theory. It's gonna answer a lot of questions. Has to be some German or something.
Yeah, that's what you guys listen to, all these crackers tell you nonsense. Why Africa's undeveloped because of exploitation, Demore. Then do because you're a young country. Because you got more out there running and you exploit it. That's why. And do because you got a young country. Just sound crazy as shit. Let me see it. I think America about 30 years. That's it. Let me say this real quick. Let me see
who developed this theory. It has to be some German or American.
The United States was an economic power.
It was some people from Harvard.
Of course, America. Let me say this now. Now we can prove what Harvard says is wrong. Say America was the economic power within 30 years of its revolution. Immigration, America, Industrial Revolution. Okay, yeah. Studies measure the contribution. Let's see here the facts about America's economic in 18th century. Let me pull this up. Between 1774 to 1880. Let me pull this up.
Let me look at the comments real quick. With Jiba Java saying, imagine the stench of that water that is in the Nigerian slum. And he goes on to say, I like that stuff on the rooftop. That's dope. That's on the other side of Nigeria, where the people who are supposed to change the situation in the stinking water live. And he's asking me if a Nigerian girl broke my heart.
That was time. Some Nigerian scammed his ass or something.
And Jiva says the founding fathers were all
criminals,
wealthy of their
they were all wealthy. Yeah, exactly. They were criminal. Shit, what? America was an economic power by the early 1800s. They were economic because they got free labor, slavery. You're talking about they're a young country. Yeah, they were young and dominated the planet in cotton and rice and all that shit. The African was being enslaved. Tobacco, right there. Remember, most of the world at that time before the Industrial Revolution was an agriculture society, an agrarian economy. So with free labor of Africans picking cotton, creating rice, tobacco, America was wealthy as hell. Like in 10 years, it was one of the most richest countries on the planet in 10 years of the revolution. So it had nothing to do about being young or old. It had African slaves fucking getting beaten in the head, making the country wealthy. Had nothing to do about no damn, they're a young country. Woo.
And as we come to the end, Jiba Jaba is asking, can somebody pick up the damn trash that is in the videos?
They won't never. You know why they don't pick up the trash when you go to Africa? Because of the self-hate. Because of the self-hate. It's all throughout. You'll see the shit in Kenya, Nigeria, because of the self-hate that was brought. But
you have to add inflicted self-hate has been inflicted, kids,
yes,
through the poverty porn, through the media, through the education.
Exactly. When you don't give a fuck about your place, you don't pick up the trash. Right? You just throw trash on the ground. That's what you see in Africa. Hey man, what was I at? What was I? Ghana?
So let me tell you why nobody's.
I was something. Hey man, don't just throw that trash on the ground. What you doing? Right.
It's more inflicted because let me tell you, you grow up watching poverty porn, you know, not just watching it on TV, but watching it in real life because everyday life here is poverty porn. And then you see pictures and videos of the United States, of China, and you see this heaven-like place. That's why every African has an American dream, has a Western dream. They want to go to the UK, they want to go to Europe. And so these people genuinely believe that they're supposed to live like this, you know. They believe they're supposed to live in poverty like this. They believe they're not supposed to have the good things in life.
And understand what the Morris said. Remember, your subconscious creates your reality. So I told the Africans in poverty because he believes he's supposed to be there. So they're creating their own reality. Their own poverty is self-induced by them, even though it came from the European at first, of course, but now it's self-induced. It perpetuates itself through 150 years of indoctrination. So now what you believe you are is what you become. So they believe that's why they have trash everywhere. Don't pick up.
If you are to ask, for example, this man right here, what his dream is, it's some small dream kid. He's probably thinking about buying a motorcycle so that he can start carrying people on as a taxi, a motorcycle taxi. You know, you don't even dream that big here. You're not.
See, that's why
it's cool. No, that's why it's not. Nobody sees the trash is just, but you know.
Yeah, look at that shit. And that's why when you look at Africa, you know, when you look at Kenyan, Nigeria, you don't even know what damn season is because they got these secondhand clothes. Some brother have a long ass shirt on. Some brother have a shorts and a t-shirt. Like, goddamn, what's the temperature? Motherfucker have a jacket on and a long sleeve shirt and a hood. One guy have shirt. I said, is it hot or cold out that bitch? But that's just the clothes they got. I'm like, what? What's the temperature out that motherfucker?
Jiba is wondering why people are walking around with brooms, but nobody is stopping to use them.
So that's what the white man shows us that this way this the IQ level. But it's more than IQ, it's the indoctrination. Like Dr. Morris said, they believe they don't know that they've been given so many lies. They don't know what they think creates their reality. They believe in the Jesus shit. You understand? Moron, no, that's a lie. Your thoughts create your reality. So the African believes he's supposed to live in this kind of poverty. So that's what manifests. I said that's what manifests for African people now. Because they took on all these lies and they have now internalized them.
So the big problem here, kids.
She's sweeping up a dirt road.
Let me tell you what the big problem is. The big problem is, you know, when you sick and you know you're sick, you're going to seek medical attention. But when you sick and you don't know you're sick, that's the problem. They don't need you. So
exactly,
majority of Africans do not even know how rich they're supposed. You know, as the show was going on, we had some people in the studio, and one of them had you talk about. They've just left. One of them had you talk about the mineral endowment in Africa, and they asked Joby. So Congo is supposed to be rich. I had him asking Joby that.
Who said that?
There was somebody in the studio. Yeah, yep. He asked Joby that.
Somebody asked Joby, is Congo supposed to be rich? Come on,
he could not believe that Congo is supposed to be rich. And that
damn.
Joby's gonna tell you about it. He heard you say that on the monitor, and he was shocked to know that Congo is supposed to be rich.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about, Amori. What do you do with that?
The problem is people do not even know they're supposed to, you know, Africans do not understand they're supposed to be rich. So what do you mean they are poor? They don't understand they're supposed to be any other thing other than that. It's
And
the person
remember,
who's sick and they don't know they are sick.
and remember what Demore read from King Leopold. Make sure these niggas, he called you niggas, make sure these niggas don't know the wealth under their feet. Give them wealth in the sky, in heaven. That these niggas, so Demore's right. So the Africans not even educated to know that he's wealthy. This is absolutely insane. So you're right. So I cannot argue with an African. Hey man,
good luck explaining. Good luck explaining to the people you saw sleeping on rivers that they are on the richest continent. They are gonna tell you, get the fuck out of here. What are you talking about? They don't have supper. What do you mean they are in the richest continent?
I know. What do I do with
that? Doesn't make sense.
I know.
To an average African
he said,
mind.
wow, exactly, Jibber. It's the brainwash that is so crazy. Well, I know that 5,000 miles. They're not taught. Jamore's right. They don't know that they don't even know because they see all the poverty around them. They don't know that because what they see is what they believe, right? They don't know that they sit there on the richest continent, that everybody is exploiting them and eats out their back. They don't know. So they don't know that.
After Joby was done explaining to that gentleman,
that was today.
Yeah, right during the show. I'm talking about during the show.
God damn. God damn.
Oh yeah, the carpenter. It's the carpenter kid. I'm talking about the carpenter who's
what?
Doing
I thought he was a pretty smart guy. You know, Congo was.
No. Let me tell you, after Joby was done explaining to him why Congo is supposed to be rich, he came up with the conclusion that Congo is supposed to be the second richest country after Russia. Is that what he said?
No.
Yeah, he said after Russia.
No, not after Russia. Congo's 10 times richer than Russia. 10 times. 10 times wealthier than Russia. 10 times. No. Congo's the richest place on the planet. Hands down. It's the heart of Mama Africa. That's really where everybody started from. As African people, everybody's Congolese because that's where Africans actually started from the Congo. But go ahead, Demore.
Do you know how crazy your talk would look like in Kibera? They would slap you if you get the hell out of you.
Exactly right. Living in that crazy shit, Demore. How could I convince them you're in Kenya, you're actually wealthy? Are you right? I couldn't convince them because they don't see you right. How could I convince you like living in this shit they show in the Congo? How could I convince these motherfuckers? But the Congolese know, Demore. They know it. Some of them motherfuckers know it, Demore. Because Joby didn't show videos. They know it. They know they're the wealthiest country on the planet.
It's what you're saying. It's what you're saying, kid. It's almost like an awakening that is starting to happen.
Yeah.
But the truth is, majority of the people
not the
in
majority,
Africa,
of course, not the majority. Right?
I would say the majority of the people are the ones who don't know, kids, because the majority are the 40, 50, 60-year-olds who have grown up and they have grown up indoctrinated. So
you said you got smacked. Yeah, it's amazing. When I learned that, Demore's right. It is amazing. They don't even know how Africans don't even know how wealthy they are and what they used to be, and that they're supposed to be wealthy. I'm God's smacked. That's why the exploitation is so rampant and so easy. They don't. You kept the people so ignorant, like I said, retarded. according to the IQ test, retarded. You keeping the people retarded. So the African, not just they're underdeveloped in their mind. The mind is fucked up. If you can free the mind, then you can get the wealth back. But you got to free the mind first. The mind, like Demore's right. I can't go to Kibera and say, you guys are actually wealthy. Man, you don't get your ass out there talking crazy to us. They run my ass up out of there. I said, no, you're not. Kenya's actually a very wealthy country. I swear to God it is. Very wealthy. I don't see none of the shit. Where's it at? I said, under your feet. And people are stealing it. They're taking it back to Europe and Asia. I don't know nothing about that. I know you got $1. you got goddamn 1,000 shillings or something, 20,000. So I get some goddamn ugali while you tell me this dumb story you're telling me. Hey, right. And Demore, right. And you also can't teach a person on an empty stomach either.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing you can't teach a person on an empty stomach. That's now, see, Africans have been put in what? Perpetual survival mode. Perpetual. So I can't think. And when I go to school, I'm being taught. I think of what I'm being taught. More is right. What I'm being taught is real. I don't know that shit is a lie. You're telling me all this so crazy. Yeah, we're a young continent. We're supposed to be fucked up and poor. Well, what about Singapore? What are you talking about? What about these other countries? What about the Dutch East Indies? Go to the Dutch East Indies and go there. They got independence after you. Go to go to Good morning, crazy. Go to
In all my words, that is the first lady of Kenya who said that. They prayed.
Go to Kuala Lumpur, Bali, Indonesia, and Malaysia. Because remember, Malaysia and Indonesia all got freed about 1965 from the Dutch. Look at their countries compared to Africa. It's developed. So they still got their poverty there too, of course. But it's still developed more than Africa. And they got free in 65, 66, where the fuck it was. So, and they're not Christians. Not waiting on nobody to pray for them. Shit's absolutely crazy. Kenya is wealthy. Should nobody in Kenya be living in no fucking Kiberas? Should nobody in Kenya not have adequate medical doctors and hospitals? Countries well. Ain't it funny? When a white man comes and now he can build it. Where the money coming? So he's building that damn city for him. That damn UN city. It's gonna have modern hospitals, modern houses. Why that's not all in Kenya? The money's there then. The money's there. So you can't tell me the money ain't in Kenya because they building this shit there. But they building it for white people. Not building for your black ass. They tell you to keep praying. Why the white man ain't got to pray for his shit? Why the Asian ain't got to pray for his shit? Well, Africa's always been told, just pray and give crazy theories. It's because you're young. What? Don't get out of here with that crazy talk.
And as we come to the end of the show, this has been the Diary of a Young Black King. It's almost 4 p.m. HR the Messenger is coming up in a bit.
Damn, is that late? Late. I wonder why I was still on. Damn, it's 4 p.m. or is that late?
Yep, I started very late today, and HR is coming up in a bit.
Yeah, because I was up when you when you weren't on. I fell back to sleep. An hour passing. I see because it was like 4:30. I was up saying, his ass ain't on. I said, I sleep for 20 minutes. It was an hour later. Whatever it was. Oh, shit, I got to pay Danny and pay Camelus. You know, oh, like, Camelus ass will be typing you. Hey, am I supposed to get paid today? No, nigga. You supposed to pray to God. Pray for your pay. Pray. Cameron's the only one he probably already texted me. Cameron's the only one that be texting my ass, boy. He want his money. Hey, kid, am I supposed to get paid today? Nigga, you know when you're supposed to get paid. Don't act like you crazy. Pray. Go ask the first lady. Shit. Ask her ass. I mean, the second first lady, where the hell she is. Was the first lady or second first lady told you to pray wherever the hell they are?
So I don't always end my show with music, but today I'm gonna end the show with music. This is HR the Messenger's new song. He has a new song that you should.
Let me check it out. What does it sound like?
It's called Thankful, which
it's called Thankful.
Yep, he's gonna tell you it's a song that he made during a hard period. He was going through a hard period in his life, so you can check it out on YouTube.
That's what art is supposed to do. It's supposed to reflect the times you live in and the struggles you went through. Not that fuck ass shit we got in America where everybody's talking about pussy and ass and being naked and all that debaucherous shit. It's supposed to uplift. It's art. So it's good. He's talking about times he struggled and he's thankful for where he's at. That's music. That's art.
So here is HR the Messenger with Thankful. Today we are gonna end the show with this. He's coming up in a bit. Make sure you join him.
I'm thankful. I prayed to Jesus and shit happened. I'm thankful to Jesus. Yeah. Whenever Whenever HR brings one of these Christians, get mad. He's not trying to traumatize my people. I'm not trying to traumatize. Are they gonna stay stupid and poor HR? Do we gotta stay in poverty, brother?
I couldn't even see, girl. I couldn't even cry.
Yeah, this one.
But I'm thankful I'm alive.
This one right here is made and produced by the Messenger.
Yeah, the beat is nice. Nice. It's a nice jazzy feel. It's nice.
So check out his music on YouTube at HR the Messenger.
That's nice.
Yep, I hope you enjoyed the rest of your weekend, kids.
But he ain't gonna get no airplay. Not in America. It's not talking about bitch ass niggas and shooting and killing somebody fucking somebody's mama. It's too nice. It's like pot is all back. It's real hip hop.
And he's not beating up women, so of course
he's not beating up women. Smacking them in their head, talking crazy. Oh man, what am I supposed to do with this HR? I can't give you no airplay, brother. You're not.
I'll tell him he would be living under the bridge in the
You're not
US.
talking about being no
ghetto artist in the US.
No, he's talented. So what they would do, they would come to HR, brother. I know you want the bag, brother. Your music is good and you got the talent, brother. But we want you going another direction. We want to talk. We want you to talk about somebody licking ass and fucking their mama or some shit. We know you got talent to make those lyrics. Now come back with that. Write that, brother. Write that. Come back and write. We got the bag waiting on you. We got a 30-city tour waiting on you. Dallas, LA, New York, Atlanta, DC. You're gonna be out there.
So enjoy the rest of your weekend, kids, and the rest of the family. A big shout out to Jiba Jabba. A big shout out to General Mosquito, who was here with me, who was making fun of. And a big shout out to everybody else who was with me, Byron Scott, and the rest of the family.
I'm still waiting for you, Jim Mosquito. Hey, Jim Mosquito, when are you going to get us those pictures of you running through the Rothschild City of London? Don't be scared, brother. See what they do. Just take us a video. Go to the edges of the city of London and take your camera out, walk to see if somebody say, hey, nigga, what you doing here? I want to see it. I've been to London. I never got to the city of London. I want to see it. Where they let you in the city of London. I want you to walk around that bitch and film it for us. See somebody say, hey, the hell you doing here?
Much love, kids.
Much love, guys.